Well, hi, everybody. I'm Don Stewart, and we have some very special breaking news. Lebanon is now being invaded by Israel. The invasion has started to get rid of Hezbollah once and for all from southern Lebanon. This is Monday. It is the 30th day of September, 2024, and here's the latest. A ground operation in Lebanon begins with heavy artillery and tank fire. In light of these ground operation reports, the IDF spokesman has asked the Israeli news services the not to publish any troop movements. Please keep quiet with respect where our troops are. The IDF tanks, according to Arabic media, is attacking villages now in southern Lebanon. And Iran's president at the same time is asking for regional help from their Arab neighbors, and he's getting crickets. No one's responding with any help. And the U.S. is said to fear attack on Israel by Iran, which vows to respond to criminal acts. So much is happening right now. Let's just sort it out for you, okay? First of all, the ground operation has begun. It began with heavy artillery fire and tank fire. This is our top headline, of course. After over 11 months, the IDF goes on the attack. U.S. announces Israel is carrying out limited ground activity along the border. Residents of Kiryat Shmona, and that's a border town in Israel, and surrounding areas ordered to stay near protected area. Almost a year after the beginning of Hezbollah's incessant fire at Israeli communities, the IDF is crossing the northern border, according to the U.S. State Department. Israel is currently carrying out limited operations along the border, and that's the latest headlines. It's not coming from Israel yet. They're making no definitive statements, but the U.S. has said this is what's happening. Now, headline number two, in light of ground operation reports, the IDF spokesman have asked Israeli media not to publish any troop movements, and this, of course, makes sense. The spokesman, Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari, called on Israelis not to publish troop movements in light of the growing indication, reports, and claims and rumors of an imminent Israeli ground incursion into southern Lebanon. Well, it's not imminent anymore, it's taking place. He said in recent hours have been many reports and rumors. In fact, we talked about the possibility today on our earlier broadcast about IDF activity along the Lebanese border. We ask that no reports be circulated about the activities of the forces to protect the truth. Stick to the official reports, he said. Now, some Israeli politicians have posted some very not so subtle hits, some very unsubtle hints on social media about the looming ground operation. Well, it's not looming anymore. It's actually taking place. Now, we do know some things that are going on because of what Arabic media is reporting, and that's headline number three. IDF tanks are attacking villages in southern Lebanon, according to Arabic media. IDF tells Beirut suburb residents to evacuate. Now, this is something else that's going on at the same time. Beirut, which is much, much further north from the Israeli southern border, the Lebanese southern border with Israel's northern border. But remember, they've got that section there in Beirut, which is basically a Hezbollah headquarters, and they're telling the residents there again to evacuate. So you've got a combination of the tanks going across the border, and then you're going to have air support there, Air Force bombs basically bombing that same area that's been bombed before to get rid of anything possible that has something to do with Hezbollah in Beirut. So it's full on right now, people. So Arab media such as Al Jazeera and MTV Lebanon claim that IDF tanks have entered multiple villages in southern Lebanon. They've crossed the border. U.S. State Department spokesman says they have informed us that they're currently conducting limited operations targeting Hezbollah infrastructure on the Lebanese side of the border for the first time. Now, the IDF has yet to confirm or deny such a ground invasion. And this is the first operation in Lebanon since the Second Lebanon War in 2006. So it's been 18 years since the last time this happened. They started making their moves around 9 p.m. tonight, Israeli time, and now the invasion is taking place. Now, what's interesting in all of this, in a pre-recorded interview with CNN, the president of Iran said Hezbollah by herself cannot stand against a country that is armed to the teeth. And President Mossad Pezeshkian asked for regional help from the different Muslim countries in the region. And what's fascinating about this, he got crickets. He got zero. He's getting no help from any other country. Now, this is one of the miscalculations that Iran made. When their surrogate Hamas on October 7th of last year did this horrific deed in killing something like 1,200 plus Israelis and this slaughter there in the south there of outside of Gaza. When that took place, they were expecting other Arab countries to join in. They called them to join in. Let's destroy, basically, let's get rid of Israel once and for all. and no one joined with them. Now, they do have their surrogates, like we've said, in Lebanon. That's Hezbollah, which they're getting rid of right now. Hamas has been basically, stopped there in Gaza. You've got smaller groups in Iran, excuse me, in Iraq and Syria, and of course the Houthis down in Yemen. But again, they can't cause much of a problem with respect to what Israel has, firepower and all that. In the West Bank, that's Judea, Samaria, there are elements there that are Hamas inspired that have tried to cause problems. But Iran needs more help if they're going to do anything. And the bottom line is nothing is really happening. And so Hezbollah, we've seen 90% of their leaders destroyed in the last week or two. And so what's taking place now is what we expect to see from the Bible with what it says. And what is that? That Iran will be a surrogate of Russia down the line. It will not be leading a last days invasion against Israel because it doesn't have the doesn't have the power to do so. The people do not respect Iran. The nations in the region do not, follow Iran's lead. And so they're trying to do something which they're getting really no real help from their Muslim friends in that neighborhood. Now, one of the problems is, of course, Iran is a Shia Muslim, which is only 10% of the entire Muslim population of the world. 90% of the Muslims are Sunni, and the Sunnis and Shia has been killing each other since the 7th century. So to expect that these people to get on your side, even though they have an enemy, the common enemy, it's just not happening. And so it is interesting. This article did come out that Hezbollah needs help, according to the Iranian president. Yes, they do. They're going to need a lot of help right now, but nobody's going to come to their aid. Now, will Iran come to their aid? And this is our last story. U.S. is said to have feared an attack on Israel by Iran, which vows to respond to the criminal acts. And so the official says military is preparing for joint defense after the assassination of Nasrallah in Tehran, and Tehran said it'll make Israel regret its actions. Now, problems, of course, when on July 31st, when Hania, the Hamas leader, was killed there, assassinated in Iran, Iran said right away, well, we've got to respond to this. We're going to, Israel, you're going to pay the price. Allah won't forgive us if we don't respond. And guess what? They've done nothing. They've just been belligerent, haven't done anything. What's going to happen now? Because see, what Hezbollah means to Iran is simply if Israel decides to attack Iran, which they most likely will do sometime in the future, Hezbollah was there with its mighty weaponry to, basically to be a problem for Israel. They would have to divert their attention there. But if there's no Hezbollah that can really do any real damage to Israel, which is becoming less and less of that, then Israel could go after Iran next, which is most likely in the cards. And Iran would not have really anybody in the region that could give any firepower that would thwart an Israeli attack on Iran. So that's what it's seemingly boiling down to. It's real interesting watching all this. Now, according to the U.S. reports, it's going to be a limited time, limited invasion. They're not going to stay there, but they're going to rid southern Lebanon of the Hezbollah and the nest of the Hezbollah terrorists there. And then Lord knows how they're going to set up something to keep them from coming back. But the point is, this is what the stories are right now. Now, tonight, Israeli time, Israeli cabinet met to discuss the length of this war, how long it's going to take, and what all they're going to do. Now, they haven't told the public what they plan to do. So the U.S. wants a very short war, limited incursion into Lebanon. We'll see what happens. Israel has to finish the job. And so they've started the job, and we will keep you posted on what's going on. But we wanted to tell you, this is the headline, the literal breaking news. The invasion of Lebanon after 11 months of fighting and firing from Hezbollah over to Israel has finally begun. They're going to try and stop it once and for all. And so we will keep you informed of what's going on. Please continue to pray for this situation. And as events warrant, we will come back with the latest if something huge takes place. We'll obviously do our program tomorrow morning and bring you the very latest news. But again, just to remind you that this is something that we were expecting to see, something that needs to take place according to Scripture, because Israel needs to have a clear, peaceful northern border for a while, because when the Russian invasion that eventually takes place, according to Ezekiel 38:39, they're not expecting any problems from their north, and that's why they're taken again by surprise. So we watch and pray, and we'll keep you posted. I'm Don Stewart. Thank you as always for watching. Until next time, as always, may the Lord richly, richly bless.